Is there anyone
if we
else
had them.
out there, Professor?
Anyone, you mean just life at all?
Yes.
Probably. We are made of the most common ingredients in the universe. Hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, iron. This stuff is everywhere in the universe. Life on Earth was opportunistic.
In a revelation that has rattled the very foundations of astronomy, NASA has quietly admitted a chilling truth. What surrounds the comet-like figure known as 3I Atlas may not be ice or evaporating gases at all. That radiant, ghostly tail could instead be the exhaust of a controlled propulsion system, engineered to mimic the behavior of a comet. Imagine it. A Manhattan-sized object streaking through our solar system, concealing advanced technology in plain sight. If confirmed, this would mark humanity's first undeniable brush with extraterrestrial engineering. And the terrifying question echoes across every observatory. What does it want? Because this is not just a rock tumbling through the void. This is an enormous entity, armed with motion that appears deliberate. 3I Atlas has been clocked at speeds exceeding 130,000 miles per hour. To put that into perspective, at such velocity, one could travel from New York to Los Angeles in barely a minute, if anyone dared to ride along with this enigmatic visitor. Yet, its speed is only the beginning of its mystery. Less than a single day after the first detection, NASA specialists were forced to confirm what many whispered behind closed doors, but feared to speak aloud. This object did not emerge from our solar system. It came from the unfathomable gulfs beyond, from interstellar space itself. Through realms no human craft has ever crossed, this wanderer has traveled, bearing velocity, silence, and purpose that defy everything we thought we knew. Even the overwhelming pull of our own sun could not hold it. 3I Atlas defied capture, slipping past the colossal gravity that tethers planets and comets alike. Left unaltered, its path should carry it back into the black ocean of interstellar space. But what if its momentum isn't natural at all? What if someone, was slowing it down on purpose? This is where the unease deepens. 3I Atlas is not some tiny shard of ice and stone. Measurements suggest a diameter stretching 6 to 9 miles across, making it the size of Manhattan Island itself. Picture an entire city hurtling across the heavens at incomprehensible speeds, casting its silent shadow over Earth. Harvard professor Avi Loeb pored over the data, and his verdict sent shockwaves through the global scientific community. Loeb and his colleagues dared to suggest the unthinkable, that 3I Atlas may not be a natural object at all, but a piece of technology, crafted, built, and launched by an intelligent civilization beyond the stars. If this interpretation holds true, then we are not witnessing a random flyby. We are staring at a machine that has traveled across light years, perhaps millennia, to observe us. And the most unsettling truth, we have no way of knowing whether its mission is peaceful or predatory. The calculations, the dimensions, even the defiance of natural law, all of it screams of something designed, not born. Some even argued their instruments had malfunctioned, that such measurements could not possibly be correct. But this was no error. What we are facing is an interstellar visitor unlike anything ever recorded, dwarfing every known object that has drifted into our solar system. To grasp its sheer immensity, we must look back to Oumuamua, the mysterious object that passed through 8 years earlier. That cigar-shaped wanderer, stretching about the length of a football field, roughly 330 to 380 feet, was hailed as colossal in its day. It baffled scientists, sparked headlines worldwide, and became the center of countless debates about extraterrestrial origins. And yet, beside 3I Atlas, Oumuamua shrinks to the size of a pebble lying at the foot of a skyscraper. 3I Atlas spans miles, its body comparable to a small city moving at blinding speed. The scale alone forces us to question whether we are truly looking at a natural object, or something far more deliberate. Yes, nature can create giants, but to send a structure this vast across the gulf of interstellar space, maintaining cohesion for millennia, requires forces few cosmic processes could ever provide. The typical shards of rock and ice ejected from their home systems are measured in hundreds of feet, not miles. And yet, here it is, a Manhattan-sized colossus hurtling forward at 130,000 miles per hour, as though propelled by intent, not chance. 3I Atlas streaks through the cosmos at speeds humanity can barely imagine, faster than anything we have ever built or even dreamed of constructing. Our fastest spacecraft, Voyager 1, hurtles through space at roughly 38,000 miles per hour. Yet, compared to 3I Atlas, Voyager crawls. This colossal visitor moves at more than triple that speed, a velocity so staggering it mocks the limits of human engineering. In the frozen silence of interstellar space, Very few natural forces could ever push a mountain-sized object to such extremes. Perhaps a brush with a massive star, or the slingshot of a black hole. But even then, the odds of such a structure surviving intact across millennia are almost non-existent. And still, 3I Atlas endures, unbroken, unstoppable. Its speed carries with it another haunting truth. It is not gravitationally bound to our sun. Unlike the familiar comets and asteroids that dance in predictable ellipses, pulled into the sun's embrace, this traveler refuses capture. Its path is direct, uncompromising, and unyielding, unless it chooses otherwise. Because if this velocity is not the product of nature, then it must be propulsion, technology capable of decelerating, hovering, perhaps even watching. Astronomers across the globe now track its path with relentless precision, their telescopes locked on the skies, as if waiting for a maneuver, a sign, a message. They uncovered something so precise, so calculated, that even the most skeptical voices in the scientific community fell silent. 3I Atlas was not wandering aimlessly through our system like a drifting stone. No, its path unfolded with the precision of a clockwork design, as though it were following a cosmic flight plan. Instead of a chaotic, chance-driven course, this object traced a route that looked eerily deliberate, a perfect sequence visiting the great worlds of our solar system, one after another. Almost like a grand tour, an expedition crafted to extract the maximum amount of observation from every planet it passed. The schedule was chillingly exact. First, Mars, October 2nd, skimming just 17.5 million miles from the planet's surface, close enough to watch in staggering detail. From there, Earth awaited. On December 19th, it would reach its nearest approach, a mere 167 million miles, astronomically close for an interstellar wanderer. Then Venus, only 60 million miles away, before bending its path toward Jupiter, brushing past at an incredible 33 million miles. Each encounter, each distance, each curve, all of it too efficient, too elegant to be coincidence. The trajectory resembled not the chaotic drift of rock and ice, but the itinerary of an intelligence well-versed in orbital mechanics, someone or something that knew exactly how to thread the planets like beads on a string. When astronomers ran the numbers, the results were staggering. The calculations left scientists stunned. The probability of any interstellar object just happening to pass near 4 major planets in such a clean, organized sequence? Less than 0.005%. Put differently, you could fling 20,000 random objects into our solar system, and maybe, just maybe, one would follow a path even remotely resembling what 3I Atlas is doing. This isn't chance. Or if it is, it would be one of the rarest cosmic accidents imaginable. The far more unsettling conclusion is that we are watching intent, an engineered trajectory drawn by a mind that understands interstellar travel with precision we can scarcely fathom. And the strangeness only deepens. The route seems crafted not merely for efficiency, but for secrecy. Each planetary encounter maximizes opportunities for observation, yet minimizes opportunities for us to observe back. The timing of its closest approach to Earth, December 19th, is no accident. It occurs when the object is tucked behind the sun from our vantage point, effectively blinding our most advanced telescopes. It is as though 3I Atlas is executing a reconnaissance mission, collecting data, scanning, watching, while remaining just out of reach. Its path follows what military analysts might call a surveillance pattern, the kind designed to study a target without being caught. The implication is chilling. Whatever this thing is, it doesn't want to be seen. And if it hides with purpose. For the first time, whispers began spreading through the scientific ranks. Perhaps we are not looking at a natural body at all, but at a craft, an extraterrestrial spacecraft. Professor Avi Loeb of Harvard is not a man prone to wild speculation. He is one of the world's most respected astronomers, with hundreds of peer-reviewed papers and decades spent unraveling the mysteries of black holes, dark matter, and the birth of galaxies themselves. His reputation is built on rigor, not sensationalism. And so, when Loeb examined the mountain of data surrounding 3I Atlas and declared that we are most likely dealing with extraterrestrial technology, the scientific world was forced to pause. His conclusion could not be dismissed as fringe theory. It had to be taken seriously. Loeb and his team pointed to the evidence with precision. The trajectory was too immaculate, too perfectly calculated, to be the random product of gravity nudging a wandering fragment of space debris. The sheer size of the object, miles in diameter, was without precedent among interstellar visitors, implying not a natural formation, but advanced construction. And then there was the timing. 3I Atlas arrived just as humanity had reached the capability to detect and track such travelers, almost as if it wanted to be noticed. The team proposed something extraordinary, yet chillingly logical. 3I Atlas could be a reconnaissance probe, dispatched to survey our solar system, to gather information across multiple worlds, while taking careful measures to avoid being studied in return. The meticulously plotted course of 3I Atlas seems almost surgical, designed to sweep past Mars, Earth, Venus, and Jupiter in perfect sequence, as though equipped with instruments far beyond anything humanity has ever dreamed of building. But here is where Professor Avi Loeb's theory twists into something far more unsettling. He does not believe this visitor intends to leave. Loeb suggests that 3I Atlas could decelerate, harnessing propulsion so advanced it mimics natural behavior, and then settle into a hidden orbit around our sun. The most likely sanctuary? Somewhere near Jupiter, a place vast enough to conceal it from detection, yet ideal for long-term surveillance. From there, it could quietly monitor our progress, watching, recording, waiting. The implications are staggering. If Loeb is correct, then an alien intelligence set this mission into motion thousands of years ago, perhaps as far back as 8,000 years, when humanity first carved symbols into clay and bent the soil for agriculture. Could it be that our earliest sparks of civilization triggered a distant signal, prompting others to take notice? And if so, why now? Why here? That question leads to one of the most chilling possibilities ever conceived, the dark forest hypothesis. This chilling theory seeks to solve one of the greatest riddles of the cosmos. If the universe is so vast, with billions of stars and planets where life could take root, then where is everyone? Why haven't we uncovered undeniable proof of other civilizations? The dark forest hypothesis offers an answer so disturbing that many scientists confess it keeps them awake at night. Its name comes from a haunting metaphor. Picture yourself walking through a dense, pitch-black forest. Every twig snapping, every rustle in the leaves could signal a predator lurking, unseen, ready to strike. In such a place, survival depends on silence, on never revealing where you are, because in that darkness, the smallest sound could summon something larger, stronger, and merciless. Now expand that to the scale of the galaxy. According to the dark forest hypothesis, intelligent civilizations face the same dreadful reality. The stars are filled with potential predators. Any species that dares to shout into the void through radio signals, beacons, or visible spacecraft marks itself as prey. The act of announcing "we are here" could be the very thing that ensures its destruction. Thus, the universe may not be empty at all. It may be full of watchers, full of silences, full of civilizations cowering in the shadows, not because they are unfriendly by nature, but because survival demands invisibility. Survival, in the dark forest, becomes a ruthless game of cosmic hide-and-seek, where the punishment for being found is nothing less than extinction. Every civilization that achieves technological maturity must face the same fateful choice: remain forever silent in the shadows, or announce itself to the galaxy and risk attracting predators it cannot possibly defend against. Those who dare to reveal themselves may only realize their mistake when it's far too late, and that is what makes the arrival of 3I Atlas so deeply unsettling. Could it be that our species has already been noticed, singled out, by entities who operate under the silent, merciless logic of the dark forest? If 3I Atlas is truly a reconnaissance craft, then its creators are not only capable of interstellar travel, but possess technologies beyond our comprehension, propulsion systems we cannot replicate, sensors that could study us from across worlds, and perhaps weapons powerful enough to threaten entire planets. Humanity would stand defenseless before such a force. The timing makes this possibility even more chilling. Trajectory models suggest that 3I Atlas began its journey toward us roughly 8,000 years ago. That era was no coincidence. It was the dawn of human civilization itself. In that pivotal stretch of history, we shifted from scattered hunter-gatherer tribes to organized agricultural societies. We built the first cities, etched the first written words, and set in motion the technological chain that would ultimately end with radio signals beaming into space, nuclear weapons, space exploration. Was it possible that these sudden leaps in human civilization sent a signal into the cosmos, one that distant observers could not ignore? If the dark forest truly reflects the nature of galactic life, then the arrival of 3I Atlas may not be random at all. It could be first contact with an intelligence guided by survival principles we cannot grasp, motives we cannot predict, and powers that could decide whether humanity is allowed to endure or erased as a threat before it ever matures. This isn't the first time the universe has whispered a warning. 8 years before 3I Atlas lit up astronomical radar. Another strange messenger entered our skies, an object that baffled scientists by defying the very rules of physics. Its name was Oumuamua, Hawaiian for messenger from afar arriving first, and that name could not have been more fitting. Oumuamua broke every expectation. As it skimmed past our sun, astronomers waited for the telltale bright tail of gas and dust, the glowing signature every comet should display. But none appeared. It slipped through the inner solar system without leaving even a wisp of vapor, as though it were not ice or rock at all, but something different, something unbound by the behaviors of nature. Oumuamua was unlike any comet or asteroid humanity had ever seen. Its mystery deepened further when it demonstrated an inexplicable burst of acceleration, one that could not be explained by gravity, solar radiation and pressure, or any known natural force. Roughly 40 days before its discovery, it had skimmed past the sun at just 23 million miles, a perilously close encounter. But instead of slowing, it surged forward, gaining speed in a way that violated the very laws of orbital mechanics. Its shape, too, was maddening to decipher. From light reflection data, some models suggested it was stretched out like a colossal cigar, while others implied it was eerily flat, like a cosmic pancake. Both forms were alien to astronomers, completely unlike the rounded, fractured shapes typical of natural space debris. Some scientists began whispering comparisons to artificial structures, giant sails, elongated crafts, anything but a simple rock drifting from afar. And now, with 3I Atlas bearing down on our solar system, those whispers have transformed into alarm bells. Looking back, Oumuamua feels less like an isolated anomaly and more like a precursor, perhaps even a scout. Both objects share strange, unnatural traits, puzzling acceleration, bizarre geometry, and suspiciously precise trajectories. It is almost too neat, too aligned to be coincidence. Neither Oumuamua nor 3I Atlas fit the mold of what scientists expect from comets or asteroids drifting in from interstellar space. Both lacked the telltale signatures, the glowing tails, the irregular spins, the predictable gravitational obedience. And perhaps most unsettling of all, both appeared only once humanity had developed the technology to detect them, yet not advanced enough to study them in full detail, as though their timing had been chosen deliberately. When viewed side by side, their size difference begins to tell a story. Oumuamua, slender and mysterious, stretched only about the length of a football field, small enough to slip past unnoticed, swift enough to complete a survey mission with minimal risk of exposure. It could have been the Scout, the first probe sent to sweep through our system, to map our planets, and to listen for any hints of intelligent life. 3I Atlas, however, is an entirely different beast. Hundreds of times larger, far more complex, and seemingly built for endurance, it carries the hallmarks of an extended operation. A craft designed not just to glance at us, but to watch us closely, to study us in depth. If these two visitors are pieces of a grander puzzle, then the sequence is chilling. Oumuamua, as the advanced probe, dispatched to verify our system, was worth the effort. An 8-year interval for its data to travel back, to be analyzed. And then, the arrival of something far larger, far more capable, a mission-scale entity, dispatched to observe humanity at the peak of its technological awakening. Yet not everyone was ready to leap toward alien contact. Across the global astronomy community, many scientists pushed back hard against Avi Loeb's bold claims. Yes, they examined the same streams of data. Yes, they saw the same anomalous behaviors, but to them, extraordinary claims demanded extraordinary proof, and they argued that proof had not yet arrived. The strongest challenge to the extraterrestrial hypothesis came with the release of high-resolution photographs, captured by some of the most powerful telescopes on Earth. These images revealed something Loeb's interpretation struggled to account for: a faint but unmistakable glow beginning to surround 3I Atlas. It looked eerily familiar. What the photographs showed resembled the early bloom of a comet's tail, the shimmering halo that forms when frozen gases and ice begin to sublimate under the sun's relentless heat. As the object drifted closer to our star, astronomers expected this halo to grow brighter, longer, more diffuse, exactly what one would anticipate from a perfectly ordinary comet, born of ice and stone, not from alien metal and design. To those who doubted Loeb, this was decisive. The developing tail seemed to settle the matter. 3I Atlas wasn't a craft, but a comet. Its brightness, too, aligned with this natural explanation, mirroring the luminosity patterns astronomers had cataloged countless times before. To mainstream astronomers, the brightness of 3I Atlas was not mysterious at all. Even when it was still far from the sun, It shone brilliantly, exactly what one would expect if its surface was coated in reflective ice crystals, not alien alloys or advanced hull plating. After all, comets within our own solar system are renowned for their shimmering displays, their icy skins scattering sunlight with dazzling efficiency. In their eyes, this matched the data far better than speculation about spacecraft. Skeptics also dismantled some of Avi Loeb's boldest claims with hard logic. If this truly were a probe built to study Earth, why would its creators design a trajectory that never brought it closer than 167 million miles, nearly twice the distance between Earth and the Sun? For a machine supposedly meant to examine our civilization, it seemed like an almost laughably inefficient approach. What kind of intelligence, they asked, would settle for a glimpse from so far away? Instead, critics suggested that 3I Atlas's behavior could be explained without invoking extraterrestrials. Subtle gravitational influences, the physics of interstellar ejection, and the natural sublimation of ices might account for its unusual path and glow. Across universities and observatories, research groups scrambled to model these possibilities, eager to prove that nature, not technology, was behind this spectacle. Some scientists suggested that 3I Atlas might be nothing more than the shattered fragment of a far greater body, once whole, but broken apart by a catastrophic collision, or ripped to pieces by the merciless gravity of a star or black hole in some ancient corner of the galaxy. Perhaps, they argued, it was a relic of destruction, not design. Yet regardless of whether 3I Atlas proves to be a natural shard or an engineered machine, one fact unites astronomers across the world. This discovery is a milestone unlike any other in human history. Never before have we had such a direct window into the deep unknown beyond our solar system. Even its name tells a story. The designation 3, I, is not a code, but a record. The number 3 marks it as only the third confirmed interstellar object ever observed by human eyes. The letter I stands for interstellar, a rare and exalted classification that instantly sets it apart from the countless asteroids, comets, and fragments bound to the sun's familiar pull. That small detail carries staggering weight. Out of the millions upon millions of objects charted in our skies, only 3 have ever been confirmed to come from beyond the borders of our system. Each one is a scientific treasure, a messenger carrying secrets from regions of the galaxy humanity cannot yet reach. Every interstellar object is a time capsule, carrying in its structure and motion the secrets of distant star systems, hints of violent collisions, gravitational upheavals, and journeys so long they span millions of years across the void. Each one that drifts into our cosmic neighborhood offers a fleeting chance to glimpse what lies beyond the reach of our own sun. The first visitor, Oumuamua, gave scientists both revelation and regret. It revealed what was possible, that fragments from other stars could and did find their way to us. But it also exposed how unprepared we were. By the time astronomers realized what Oumuamua truly represented and scrambled to mount detailed observation campaigns, it was already slipping away, too distant for the instruments we possessed. The second visitor, Comet 2, Borisov, discovered in 2019, gave us a better chance. Detected earlier in its path, it lingered long enough for careful study. But Borisov behaved very much like the comets of our own solar system, burning with familiar light, shedding gases and dust in ways that fit neatly into the models we already understood. Valuable, yes, but it offered fewer mysteries, fewer disruptions to our view of the cosmos. 3I Atlas, however, shattered that pattern. Unlike Oumuamua, it did not vanish before the world could focus its gaze. Unlike Borisov, it refused to behave like anything we had seen before. Its sheer scale, its precision, its velocity, all marked it as something profoundly different. For the first time, humanity stood face to face with an interstellar enigma that could not be explained away so easily. A visitor too significant to dismiss. 3I Atlas was more than just a mystery. It was an opportunity. Its vast size meant it would remain visible for far longer than smaller interstellar visitors, granting astronomers a rare gift: extended time to track its path, analyze its light, and watch how it shifted under the sun's heat and the gravitational pull of the planets. This wasn't a fleeting glimpse. It was a sustained encounter with the unknown. The sting of regret from Oumuamua's escape still haunted the scientific community. Watching that enigmatic traveler vanish into the dark, virtually untouched by serious study, had ignited a determination unlike anything before. Humanity swore it would not be caught unprepared again. Out of that frustration came a wave of audacious proposals. Missions so bold and demanding, they bordered on science fiction. At the center of these dreams was Project Lyra. Originally conceived as a desperate bid to chase down Oumuamua, it had since evolved into something far grander, a blueprint for intercepting any future interstellar intruder. And now, with 3I Atlas lighting up the skies, Project Lyra's vision burned brighter than ever. The idea was staggering. To build craft capable of catching an object racing at over 130,000 miles per hour required propulsion systems beyond anything humans had ever engineered. New spacecraft designs, new mission strategies, even entirely new physics might be demanded. The very act of trying to reach such a visitor would push human technology to its absolute edge. Project Lyra's engineers explored daring methods to reach the almost impossible speeds required to intercept an interstellar visitor. Their most promising plan turned the solar system itself into a colossal slingshot, a cosmic pinball machine where each planet became a stepping stone to greater velocity. A mission might begin with a launch from Earth, slingshotting first around Venus for an initial boost, then swinging back past Earth to gather even more speed. Finally, the craft would dive toward Jupiter, where the gas giant's immense gravity could hurl it outward with breathtaking force. Each maneuver would be calculated with exquisite precision, each orbit timed like clockwork. Simulations revealed that such choreography could accelerate a probe to astonishing speeds, 74,000 miles per hour in standard profiles, and perhaps as much as 163,000 miles per hour if more exotic paths were attempted, including perilous close encounters with the sun itself. Such missions would test the very limits of human engineering, pushing us into uncharted realms of spacecraft design, propulsion, and thermal protection. Meanwhile, the European Space Agency envisioned an entirely different approach. Their upcoming Comet Interceptor mission, set for launch in 2029, would not chase visitors as they fled the solar system. Instead, it would lie in wait, parked in a strategic location in space, ready to pounce the moment a new interstellar traveler revealed itself. When the time came, it would spring into action, intercepting the object at its closest approach, where the secrets of its nature could finally be unraveled. One path relies on pursuit, the other on patience. Both are bold, both are risky, and both carry the weight of humanity's desire to no longer be passive spectators when the universe sends us a messenger from beyond the stars. Thanks for watching another episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment below, and I'll see you on the next one.